Hey everyone, Brittany here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the very first installment of my bride-to-be series. Yes, I am so excited about this. So I got married about 6 months ago back in August of 2015 and my husband and I were engaged for about 11 months or so about a year's worth, give or take, of wedding planning. It was definitely a very exciting time, a very new time for me, and a very stressful time. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna be straight up with you. It was very stressful, but I also enjoyed it and I learned a lot of things. So this first installment of my bride-to-be series is just me letting you know how to get started. It's kind of stressful, like after the engagement, you're like, oh my gosh, there's this whirlwind of emotions. You're excited and you're happy and you're just overwhelmed. Also, it hits you and you're like, wait, now I have to plan a wedding. Where do I start? What do I do now? And that's exactly what happened to me. To be quite honest, I was like, what do I do? I've never planned a wedding before. You know, surprise there. So my very first tip for you is to not panic. I know that's easier said than done, but yes, it will hit you and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm engaged. Now I have to plan a wedding. Yeah, it's gonna happen. But don't panic, okay? In time, everything will fall into place how it needs to. Don't stress about it, okay? You can't just like start, oh my gosh, I need a cake and I need flowers and I need, I don't know. Don't worry about it. It'll get there. You'll get there. As long as you plan everything out right, there won't be any issues with that kind of stuff. Of course, there is hiccups in every wedding, but we'll get to those later. Okay? Another tip for you is to not worry about making decisions right away. There's only a couple decisions that really need to be made in the beginning. The rest will come later. The rest will be figured out in the future, but at this moment or in the very first month of your wedding planning, you don't have to make those certain final decisions yet. So the number one decision that you have to make in the very beginning is what wedding planning route do you want to go? You can DIY everything, you plan it out, you call all your vendors, you organize everything, you're the number one head honcho in charge. You can go that route. No problem with that. If you are able to take that on and you feel like you have the time to take it on, I say go for it. It's kind of the cheapest route, but it's also the more work route. You will have to do the most work because you will be playing so many roles. But it's okay. If you can handle that and you have the time for it, go on ahead. Then there's also the wedding planner route. You can hire someone to take care of all the phone calls and the planning and the behind the scenes work, and they'll just make sure that like you show up that day and everything's good to go. There's a couple different levels of wedding planner. For me, I had a wedding planner, but I was also a very hands-on bride along with my mom. My mom helped me out so much, even though the way she had a wedding versus how I had a wedding was completely different. But it still worked out, so it was more like me, my wedding planner, and my mom, and we all worked together on almost everything, to be quite honest. My wedding planner was just more in charge of checking contracts and getting them signed and setting up appointments. That's kind of what she did. And then she was also my day of wedding planner, and she was there to set it all up and make sure everything ran smoothly. Your third option is the in-between route. You can DIY everything. You make the appointments and sign contracts and get everything organized together and put it all together, and then you hire a day of the day wedding planner, which is a wedding planner that shows up on the day of your wedding, and they make sure everything gets set up properly. They're the ones in charge. Everyone goes and talks to them if they have questions, and you don't have to worry about any of it, which honestly is a good medium. And it just depends on the preference that you want. How much control of the wedding do you want? Now, my wedding planner was a little bit different in the way that we had everything set up. There's wedding planners that you can tell them, this is what I want, get it for me, and they'll do that. My wedding planner wasn't so much like that. I did want to be very involved with the wedding planning, so I did go to all the appointments and did make all the decisions. I didn't say, hey, wedding planner, take care of that for me. I still was there and participated in a lot of the activities that you had to do to plan a wedding, basically. I'm actually really glad the way I went because I could not have done it all DIY by myself. I did not have the time during those 11 months to have been able to pull that all off by myself, and I didn't have the patience either because I'm just not like that. But I also didn't want just a day of the wedding day planner, just because I wanted someone to be there involved through the whole process. Plus, our wedding planner was a family friend, so it kind of worked out. So that's basically the very first decision you need to make after getting engaged. Which route do I want to go? Who do I want to plan my wedding? That's the biggest thing, because after that decision is made, then everything can start falling into place and you can start going in each different direction that you need to go. So I suggest sitting down with your fiance and going over budget. If you can't afford to hire a wedding planner, but maybe you can hire someone just for the day of the wedding, totally go for it then. If you feel like you want to DIY it all, plus your budget doesn't allow for a wedding planner, there's so many resources out there that can really make DIY wedding planning completely easy. And in a future installment of this bride-to-be series, I will show you some tips on how to DIY your own wedding. But another really good tool to use is Pinterest. I'm sure you probably knew I was gonna say it, because Pinterest saved my life for the wedding. There's no doubt about it. Like, honestly, almost all of the stuff that helped me take what's in my brain and give it to my wedding planner was from Pinterest. Like, I could not have done my wedding without Pinterest, which sounds crazy because people used to plan weddings without Pinterest. So I suggest, if you aren't already signed up on Pinterest, to go sign up, and I will post my Pinterest page down below in the description bar. You can go check it out. I'm pretty sure I still have my wedding stuff up because I have not taken it down yet. I haven't cleaned out my boards, so you can kind of go check those out, kind of see how I organized them. I had multiple different boards for different things. Set up your own Pinterest, maybe similar, or if you have your own style of wanting to set it up, totally go for it. But it helped me so much because I had vendors that'd be like, what flowers do you want for this, or how do you want this arranged? And I'd be like, check out my Pinterest. And so I would link them to my Pinterest so that they could go and get a very good visual of what I like and what I want. It was a very good, like, communicating tool. So Pinterest is number one for wedding planning. I wanted to kind of get this bride-to-be series going. I mean, Valentine's is over now, and I figured now's the best time. So many people got engaged on Valentine's Day or around Valentine's Day or whenever. Maybe you're in the middle of planning a wedding right now. And I just really want to help all those brides out there, because it was very interesting to plan my wedding, and it ended up being a beautiful and magnificent day that, of course, I'll remember forever because it was my wedding day. Anyways, so that was just the first episode of this series. This will be probably a long series because there's so many topics to go over, but I will try to make these videos, you know, a little bit shorter so you can just watch through them and maybe get some ideas of your own, stuff like that. So anyways, let me know down below if there's any topics that you would like me to specifically cover on for this series. I would love to get you guys a suggestion so I can know what you guys want to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you aren't already subscribed and want to see more videos like this, subscribe down below. It's in the little button down below. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.